It began with the smallest realizations, the weight of my steps, the slow erosion of mornings that had never been generous but now felt heavier still. Chronic illness has always been a part of me, a quiet shadow leaning into every movement, every breath. For years I pushed against its presence, moving forward as though momentum alone could keep it at bay. But now something new presses into my edges, soft yet unyielding, demanding not just acknowledgement but surrender. Menopause arrived like a thief in the night, stealing what little rhythm my body once offered. For years, even as I lived with constant pain, my menstrual cycle brought their own flare of agony, an added weight to bear each month. But there was something about the way that pain peaked and receded, a sharp crescendo followed by an exhale. Each month, as the intensity ebbed, I felt a faint but palpable sense of rebalancing, as though my body had worked through something and come out the other side. A kind of rhythm, a reminder, however imperfect, that nothing stays static. When menopause came, that rhythm disappeared. There were no more peaks, no more releases. The pain which had once ebbed and flowed settled into something constant and unrelenting. The loss of estrogen was like the pulling of a thread, unraveling my body piece by piece. My joints flared with inflammation, my weight shifted as though gravity itself had redrawn its boundaries, and sleep slipped further away, a cruel mirage. What had once been a rhythm, however brutal, was now steady and yielding descent, a monotone of agony that offered no rest, no reprieve. And then there was the mirror. I catch my reflection and hesitate, startled. There she is, heavier, slower, her face lined with exhaustion. I search her eyes for recognition, but she's quiet, offering no answers. This is not the woman I knew, the one who pushed through pain, who carried on as though sheer willpower was enough to hold her together. This is someone new, someone unfamiliar. I want to tell her it's okay, to tell her, to let her know I'm trying to understand, but she doesn't trust me yet. I see it in her hesitation, the way her shoulders curve inwards as though she's guarding something fragile. I linger in her gaze, trying to remember the last time I felt truly at home in this body. It's been so long. Now it feels like my body exists apart from me, an entity with its own will, its own agenda. I ache to bridge the distance, to remember what it feels like to belong to myself. There is grief in this disconnection, in the realization that I can no longer push through the day the way I once did. I mourn not just the body I had, but the illusion I could control it. My body has become a wilderness I don't know how to navigate. Each new ache, each new limitation, a reminder of how far I've drifted from who I thought I was. I look for maps, for markers, for anything that might guide me back to the familiarity, but there are none. I'm here now, in this uncharted territory, and the only way forward is through. Sometimes I think of my body as a companion, worn, battered, but enduring. It has carried me through every moment of my life, through pain and joy and everything in between. But other times I resent it. I feel betrayed by its failings, by the way it has crumbled beneath me. I want to reach out and hold it close, but I also want to yell at it, shake it, demand that answers it cannot give. Still, there are moments of quiet. A bath to soothe aching joints, the softness of a blanket wrapped around me like a shield, the deliberate exhale of a breath held too long. These small acts of self-care feel like whispers, like tentative steps towards reconciliation. They remind me that even in its brokenness, my body is trying. It is always trying. It holds me upright when I feel like collapsing, draws in breath after breath, carrying me through the hours of each day. It may falter, ache, and protest, but it endures, stubborn in its efforts to keep me here, alive and present. I think of the woman in the mirror and wonder if she feels as lost as I do. She doesn't look like someone who has answers. Maybe she doesn't need to. Maybe it's enough that she's still here, standing, enduring. I want to believe that she's worth knowing, that she's worth loving, even if I don't recognize her yet. There are no epiphanies in this story, no grand resolutions. Healing, if it comes at all, is slow, measured in moments so small they almost escape notice. Some days I ache for the person I used to be, the one who could push through, who could move through the world without hesitation. But other days I catch a glimpse of something else. I strengthen in a way the new body holds me, in the way it demands that I pay attention, that I listen. In those moments, I wonder if this body, this life, might have something to teach me after all. Maybe the woman in the mirror is not a stranger, but a guide, someone who knows the way forward, even if I cannot see it yet. Slowly, I'm learning to trust myself.